Hi, this is Teji Kishle. I'm a student in BPS East Bangalore, a 12th grader, and I would really like to invite you all to subscribe to EDU TV.
नमस्ते भारत।
नमस्ते।
मेरा नाम
नमस्ते
चेतन
सर।
माही है। नमस्ते मैम। मेरा नाम चेतन माही है। मैं अयाक्षा हेल्थ केयर में नॉर्थ इंडिया हेड हूँ और मैं इस प्लेटफॉर्म एडू टीवी के लिए बहुत धन्यवाद हूँ। और आज हम आपके साथ में इस प्लेटफॉर्म के ऊपर, इस एक्सट्रीम प्लेटफॉर्म के ऊपर हम यहाँ पर डिस्कस करने वाले हैं अबाउट द मेंटल हेल्थ, द हेल्थ केयर सर्विसेज और हेल्थ केयर solutions which we should take care of inside schools. So we will be discussing about various topics, likewise certain first aids, mental health, stress the students deal with. Obviously, the team members also deal with. So we will be discussing a couple of topics where we will try to find out the solutions which can be, should be inside school, or which are which must be available inside a school, or what are the best practices you are doing inside schools, which will be definitely going to help other schools as well to grow themselves and to make sure that the children are safe, healthier, and happier students. So, just starting with my just a small introduction. So, request you to please introduce yourself.
All right, sir. I'm Peeya Sharma, Principal, RAN International School, Faridabad. We belong to a RAN group of institutions which have 189 schools, all India. And yeah, so that's what is all about me. And we working in the education sector for the last 28 years. I've been there for last 28 years and the RAN group for last 47 years. We've been there. So we have over 5 lakh students, associated with us. We're a huge, big chain. So that's why, and we do a lot on wellness programs, for our students. A lot has been done at every level, whether it's school level, at the group level. So we have, and especially right now, we are focusing a lot on the mental, health of our students, and emotional health. Spirituality is also coming in. The spiritual health wellness is also we are working on, but majorly right now on the mental and emotional wellness of our children is that we are focusing on.
Great. So this is really, ma'am, you must be aware of then, this is really in very tough area where school needs to deal with, because as an educator, we know everything, we are well aware of, but when it comes to healthcare, we need certain specializations as well. So whether it's dealing with the mental health, whether it's dealing with for the physical health, or whether it's other things. So these all are the things really tough for the schools, I'm sure. And I'm also into education from past 20 years and dealing with different schools, different level of schools, whether it's a government schools, private schools. So I definitely found out myself personally that many of the cases where students were struggling with the mental health and they were quite stressed to perform, they were academically bounded. But yes, the people like you and the organizations like Rian, they definitely give the platform to make sure that the children are happier, healthier, and safer. So let's start, ma'am. So I would like to ask you the first question, where does the school have a dedicated health clinic or designated space for addressing healthcare issues?
Definitely, sir. It is mandatory for all schools, especially the CBSE schools, that we need to have, a wellness room in our schools. And in fact, we don't have one wellness room. We have two kind of wellness rooms. One is for the medical wellness, and the other one is for the emotional and mental wellness. So we have two kinds of wellness centers in our school running, and we have dedicated staff assigned there who's looking into the issues of this, of the students basically. Apart from that, I would even say each classroom, the teachers are trained, to look after the emotional and mental wellness of the students as well, right? Why I'm not telling about the physical would be like, okay, that's only a specialized doctors could do. While we are doing our BEd, there's a part of a subject called psychology that every teacher has a base for.
We will be coming on it, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, you have another question. All right,
Yes.
okay.
We will
Yeah.
be coming on it. How you deal with the mental stress and everything. We will be
All right.
definitely coming on it
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
So that's really great, and it sounds really nice that you have a dedicated space for children where you do the health checkups and everything, and that's again a good part where you divided it into two parts where the physical health is also taken care of with the mental and stress level issues also taken care of. This is really nice. This is something which is definitely new for me as of now. Though we do health checkups, I do visit schools, and they have a physical uh, clinics where wellness rooms where they treat the physical illness or physical any sort of hurt or burn. But definitely, it's a new initiative which your group has taken. So that's really nice. So. Is there any qualified nurse, counselor, or doctors which you prefer or a group prefer for the professional services?
So we do have qualified nurse. It's a full-time nurse who's there, and we have an attendant also, qualified attendant who's there at station 20, during all the school hours. That's from 7:15 before the students arrive till the students leave thereafter, which till 3 p.m. The students leave around 2 o'clock, and we have a station till 3 p.m. And we have tie-ups with different hospitals in the city. The nearest hospital, in case there's a emergency which needs to be treated, which cannot be treated in within the school campus. So we do have a tie-up with one of the hospitals around, and so that's how we deal if we have any major fractures or something coming up and the child is playing in the playground. So that's a place hospital that we take in. Of course, we do have a school ambulance as well, which is again mandatory by the CBSE.
Okay. So what are the policies, how you take care of how children take into what are the parameters your teachers decide that this student immediately definitely have where is a visible hurt or where is a visible fracture or something like that, then it's good. It's need to be taken care of immediately. But what all are the other parameters? Because if you remember when in our childhood when there CBSEs were not there and the schools were operated normally, uh, students used to give excuses. Pet dard ho raha hai, sir dard ho raha hai, today I'm in a fever. So these were the silly excuses by children. So many times they used to do these tricks and the tactics to make sure that they get the relaxation time from the classrooms. So what are the parameters your teachers follow?
Okay, so the first and foremost thing is if any child does complain of any physical ailment or illness or pain, teacher has to be very proactive and take it seriously. We can't dismiss it that it's just just scam that a child is putting up. So we do not believe in that. We have to be very student centric. We don't know actually really it might be happening. We just can't dismiss it. The student is sent to the medical room with his diary, and there's a peer, child who goes with him, along with him, and he is taken to the medical room. Now, in the medical room, sir, there's a record of every child who enters the medical room, class wise. So that means every child has his own record file, which is there in the medical room. And the nurse checks up what the child is. Is he really facing this issue, or is it just maybe just a fib, basically, just trying to get away from a class? So she judges the needful and takes a call on that. And she puts a note down to the teacher and the parent that this is something happening. So please take care. Maybe the child is not, he's just wanting to, get away with the class. So a counseling session is arranged for the child simultaneously. And the child has also been told about it, that there are ways of checking, and we usually see this happening in the seniors. That's more evident coming
Absolutely,
in there.
absolutely.
So teachers are well aware of each child, as a subject teacher, class teacher, the nature of the child, what extent can a child go through, if will go ahead to bunk a particular class. So the pattern is studied and accordingly a call is taken. But definitely we do send the child to the medical room because we just can't dismiss anything, we have to take it a little seriously. So
Absolutely. Absolutely correct. So you talked about patterns. So patterns are something which says that there must be a record. So and in case of record, there are two types of record. One is a memory record where teachers used to like, because we will be facing children every day. So we remember, yes, this child is this way, this child is this way, this is a good one. They play tricks. And the second one is the digital records. So how you maintain these records or tracks of a children, that whether they came for similar issues every time or they come with different issues, which ensures or which gives you a hint, or your teachers gives you a hint that your teachers get the hint that this child is really need to be taken care of, and their parents need to be called off for further treatments, because I'm sure you must not be doing any punctures or uh, any sort of physical other treatments which are to be taken care by specialist.
That's right. We do have a digital record, in our nurse, she has a digital record for all these children. And it's like, a Google Drive that we have, which all the teachers have an access to, but they can't edit it out. They just share. So immediately if a teacher feels also this child is coming very often, there's a check also as to what were the issues. And the parents also are given this digital record every month, that this is the number of times your child entered. Apart from the digital record, so we have a school calendar for us, right? And in a school calendar, every time a child visits the medical room, the entry is also put in there, right, manually by the nurse with a signature, right? And the parent also is informed. So it is like, we do not wait for the parent to log in and see the digital record of his child. We are updating the parents as and when the child enters the medical room every time. So there is an update. So the job of the nurse is, she enters it there. And if it matter was not very critical and the child has still entered, end of the day, she does give a call to the parent to tell the child did come to the medical room. He had this. I could not, find out if there was anything wrong with him. Please check with him again, once again. So there is a lot of checkpoints, sir, that we have ensured, so that nothing goes unnoticed, and the parents are well informed as to when the child is visiting the medical room as well.
Right. And what about there may be certain children, those who are from those who have history of any medical illness, maybe a serious illness as well, where they need to take insulins or some medicines on a regular basis, where a specialist also need to be taken care of. The specialist requirement is also be there. So how you deal with those children?
Okay,
Do
so
you have any children like that or not?
So not for insulin, we don't have anyone. But there are students who would be having a little medical record. And see, all right, as I spoke to you, the school almanac is the most important document that our child is carrying. Now that has a medical form also, which is being filled up in the the moment child steps into the school. Every year, academic year, it has to be renewed. So there is a form where you need to go to a physician, get your proper checkup done. All details, allergies, everything need to be entered there. And secondly, there's another form if the child has some medical issue which needs to be addressed by the school, keeping the, maybe a little serious, and the school needs to have an attention towards it. That particular form is filled up by the parent every year, renewed and submitted in the medical room and to the class teacher as well. The record of the same is also put in the school almanac, so that if there's another teacher and some child is facing another issue and she's not aware of it, she can just open the school almanac and go through that. The school almanac is a very important document in our school, sir.
Right, right. So what all are the programs are in place to promote mental health and awareness among students?
All right, so for mental health, okay, we are having a couple of programs now for that going on. We have regular counseling sessions going on, so we do have a lot of counseling sessions on different, topics that are coming up. Our counselor is there available, 24 into 7. That's what we call it. The helpline numbers are given, especially to our grade 10th and 12th students right now, where they are having stress management issues coming up. So, these are the kind of things that we are working on the mental to guide the children that mentally we need to be happy. All right. We also believe in happy classrooms, a lot on happy classrooms, because if a happy child is there, we have a happy school coming up there and a
Absolutely.
happy society, right? So do we have something we have an assembly, sir, every morning, a 40-minute assembly, which is taking place in the morning. And we have a happiness minister in our school in place. We have a school council with the position of a happiness minister and deputy happiness minister as well. So they organize little programs. They do call people counselors. They do call people also in the morning assembly where we speak on these kind of issues. And we have the students, address box all around the corner also. If a child is feeling some emotional trauma, which he does not want to disclose with his name, can put up in the feedback form box.
Wow.
So, and that's looked into by, every day. By the end of the day, we open it and we go through that. If child has put his name there, even, issues coming up at home are addressed by us. So,
Absolutely.
and yeah, and we've seen a lot of broken homes also coming up now where children are facing the blunt of the same. So we have also entered homes where we've reached out to parents to look out for counselors and get things in proper order as well. So yes, so that's what we are doing for our mental happiness, sir. And the best
So
thing that
how,
we teach our children is like, sir, I don't think we need to compete with anyone. Just compete with yourself, and that will get you happy.
Absolutely, ma'am.
You know,
We should not
yeah.
follow others. We should create standards, and we should follow our standards because, see, somewhere, somehow, they may have a different scenario. They may have a different policies or procedures to take any sort of issues to be handled. But in case of any individual school, every individual school, even including if I talk about your 189 schools, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah.
189 schools, every school must have a different cases or different issues maybe occurring for mental health or anxiety or stress, something like that. So your each school must be following their own policies and procedures to deal with. So this is something really good, ma'am. So how often you do train or reskill your counselors, ma'am? Do you
Okay, yeah, I'll tell you, sir. We do have from our management, we have our counseling sessions are arranged for them, and it's done at a Delhi NCR level because Delhi NCR usually we all have the same kind of issues coming up. So there is there is the upgradation program for them, which they are made to attend, and they are told about the latest ways of dealing things, with issues coming up. There are times we don't know techniques, latest techniques that are coming out. So renowned counselors come in and take their sessions and tell them about how, and they come and educate us as well thereafter. So this doesn't just keep, the counselor doesn't keep it to herself. So we do have sessions of our counselors with the teachers, telling them how the situations are coming up and how they can tackle it better without hurting the sentiment of a child, and identifying a child in the classroom also who's facing an issue. So we do have a lot of these kind of programs for our counselors as well. So
Great. So how your like what are the protocols which are basic protocols where like as you mentioned that you have one thing is like you place one boxes, the information will be shared by children that they are and there are certain issues. What are the procedures or like the protocols you feel that a school must have to deal with certain such mental health issues or any stress kind of issues or anyone which who was bullied by peers or something like that. So what should this is something which should be for other school as well, and including definitely the procedures you are following.
okay, I say, sir, if you would talk about bullying, right? That's a very, we could see a lot happening around, especially starts from early as class 5 to, continues there. First and foremost thing, there should be no tolerance for bullying. in our school. We strictly believe in that. And for that, we need even parents' support coming in here. So the first thing that we've sent a message to our parents also. In fact, we regularly or every month do send a message, talk to your child. Talk to your child. See if he's facing any issue. Is he being bullied? And immediately address it to us. Right. So that's one, because, sometimes some children open up only to their parents. And we've seen parents coming back to us and telling us about it. And we have taken a very strict charge against students who are doing it. So right now, if I would say, we've been so vigilant that we have actually curb down the bullying scene in our school to actually, I have not heard lately. For last 1 month, there's nothing that I've heard on bullying coming in now. So it's all depends on you and your policies of as a school leader. How well are you tolerant to what? And has to be the message has to be very clearly given to the students. As I told you, the school morning assembly. So if we were having cases coming up, we were openly discussing it in the assembly, addressing it and telling them the repercussions of what happened to the person who was, bullying, basically, the person who was, who was on the charge sheet. What are the actions taken by the school? So that has to be very clearly placed. It should be a no tolerance zone. You need to you need to act fast, make the parent understand of the child who's bullying, that we have been kind enough just to suspend your child, but the world out there is really, would be more cruel to your child if he's not, taught the lesson today during the school days, because school days are to teach lessons for life. That's what we believe in. And yeah, so that's the way. And to the victim as well, please do not keep quiet, because you're equally going to be a part and parcel of it. So we do, if there are cases which have been prolonging for days, we do ask the child, and it's an open door policy. So even if the child is not comfortable talking to his teacher, talking to his peers, he can just walk into the principal's room. And I've had students coming into my room and directly telling me, ma'am, I'm being bullied and I need your help. So we do tackle those kind of situations. So the idea is the teacher, the principal, everybody needs to be very friendly with the students around and give a keen ear to them. Right. So that is be a good listener, ear to the child, but check the authenticity also, sir. I would say that. So as an adult, we need to check the authenticity of the entire thing and take an action against that.
Right. So that is really a good policy where you given access of a child to principal room as well as an open door policy. This is really nice because sometimes people like student think my teacher, my peer, my other teachers may not listen us, and principal is a supreme authority for the school, so they will be definitely listening to us and they will be giving us a solution. So that is a hope which takes them to the principal's office. And if principal office is an open door policy, then there is nothing like that. That is really a great initiative which you personally taken, and I'm sure your 188 peers also doing the same. So when this stress comes to the children, the major part nowadays is a stress coming from screen time. Students, when they post corona, especially when children got an access to the mobile phones, to the tablets, to the laptops, their screen times has been increased and increased drastically. And now when we try to, as a parent, we try to stop our children to reduce that screen time. There was a time when you ask us, use this mobile phone, use this tablet for your classroom sessions. When it comes to classroom sessions, you don't say ki there is a limit for screen time. But when we sit for our own enjoyment, we play video games, we see reels or watch anything. So that is something which is not in favor of, which is again giving a new type of disease to children, right? So what steps you take, or what you feel, what your thoughts to prevent this from children?
All right, so I think now we are over with the COVID time. It's out and over. That's why we've explained our parents. We do not need the tablets. We do not need the laptops. We don't need the mobiles. We are not doing any exercise with the students there. So the first thing that we had to tell our parents was, we are not using these gadgets. So why give it to your child? We don't need it. We are going back to the Gurukul system now. And so personally, even for me, I love to have something on a paper and read it from a paper than to go on screen. Whether it's a WhatsApp, document that is sent across to me, or anything which a mail comes in, which has got lots and lots of, CBSE circulars of us. I love to take out a hard, maybe on a rough sheet, take out a printout and read it, because I want to save my eyes for sure. Right, I want to look after my health, and it gets really, it is harmful. We all know that. So let's try to cut that down. And that's the same thing we need to educate our children. Telling them not to do this and not to do that will not help. Right? We need to give them examples. We need to tell them exactly what is a repercussion, where do they see themselves, say 10 years from now, you know. So that's how we educate our children. Do you want to wear big glasses? Do you want to have a headache? Do you want to have bad skin? If
Correct.
yes, continue. Pick up the laptop, pick up your whatever messages or whatever you want to see. Is it relevant? Really, you need to do it, because divide your screen time. If I have to give myself 1 hour screen time, I need to be very wise as to decide how I'm planning to do that. Now, will that watching the reel really help me, getting me some knowledge? Can I just listen to it and without looking at it, would it help? How relevant? Basically, prioritize what you want to see, cut down your screen time, and it's possible. So it's not impossible. It is very much possible. It's just that we need to be little disciplined and very, prioritize ourselves. Why do students need to go online? We don't see a reason. No reason at all. We have textbooks. We're not asking you to do any research until unless you're going for, some MUNs, basically that requires an extensive research, until unless we are surfing for something which is not in the textbooks. But we usually tell them, we do have a NCRT, we do have a reference books, please study from that. That's more than enough for all of us to do well in our exams. And research only if you're really getting into some project works, and that too for a specific span. You don't have project work running throughout the year. So divide your screen time and use it wisely, because your health, sir, as we all know, if you don't have health, there's no wealth coming in. You can't work and
Absolutely.
you can't get your wealth. So why get your health down for any reason?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Correct. So when we talk about definitely, ma'am, we need to cut off children from digital world, but they are intensively now into that digital world, and a new threat also comes to them. It's completely on a different platforms like social media platforms and other platforms where they may get certain cyber threats. May they get certain cyber issues, cyber security issues. They may cyberbullied on online games where they play and they text with any strangers or any unknown people on cyberspaces. So, what all awareness programs you do for cybersecurity awareness or cyberbullying awareness as well?
So lately, I've just had 3 days ago another session for cyberbullying with grade 9. And the gentleman spoke beautifully on this topic and really told them the do's and don'ts. So I guess, sir, is educate them, tell them real life examples, what's happening around the world. Let them realize, because I told realization is the first thing. And secondly, so who's giving them all the mobiles?
The
Who's
parent,
giving them?
obviously.
Parent. And we do have mobiles which do not have, which are not smartphones. They still exist. If you really want to give your child a mobile just for, understanding, he's going for his, he's going out somewhere, needs to message you, or you're a working parent that he's reached home, give your child that kind of a mobile. Why do we have to give him something which has a Facebook and it has access to everything in the world? Because, so whatever said and done, they're children. they have, they are curious, they love to, see what's happening, and their peer pressures are there. Very few of them are sensible enough to control themselves and not get into the wrong area, right? So I think it's the first thing, the parents need to stop giving them smartphones, give them normal phones, the ones which just are not smartphones, for whatever reasons that they tell us why the child needs to have a mobile. One. Secondly, let's educate the child. It's possible, sir, because I have seen, we've done lots in our school, which initially it was like things which, my teachers thought were impossible, but it has become possible. To small things like girls making two plates and coming to school. They never thought, NCR girls would ever do that. But we do have from class 1 to class 12, everybody plating up their hair. So things which seem impossible are possible, sir. It requires efforts. It takes a little time, but it does happen. So
I'm
what my
100% agree. I'm 100% agree with you. And even before Corona, when everybody was going to schools, and in fact, my personal experience is when because I'm a trainer as well for the teachers. So I
okay,
used to train them. I used to ask them to use digital technology, do certain online sessions with your peers, to global with the global teachers of the peers, other teachers, those who are sitting in other countries. But they were reluctant that time. We will not be able to use. And post Corona, or rather during the Corona, everybody was expert for to use it. And even most of the Hindi teachers, those who never ever used any technology, they were also using it very smartly and effectively for the children. So the efforts and the strategy and the situation, these all are the three key things which I feel that we can change the things, right? So I'm 100% agree with you, and we need to, but again, we need to have a patience that this change will definitely happen, but we need to constantly do our efforts to make sure that this change happens in a positive way. So now when we come to, like, because this we move from school mental health to stress. One of the reason of a stress is uh, meal unhealthy meal which we do, our children do take intake, and it happens in the school as well, it happens to the home as well. So, what are the solutions you have, or what preference you make sure that the children have inside school for healthy meals, and what arrangements you did inside school, if there are?
Okay. So what we've done is, or we don't allow junk food in us. Only every Friday you're allowed to carry junk food. But somewhere down the line, we are planning to change that as well. So because junk food means again unhealthy food, right? So and we can even make a healthy food as tempting and tasty as a junk food. And we've seen alternates happening around there. So the first thing that we've done is only Fridays are you allowed to carry chips and all. But we are trying to work on we have a health minister also in our school council, and we've given this project to him. Let's sit and work out. We are sharing, nowadays healthy meals to the parents also for the tiffins when they're going to make a tiffin. You can have chips, which could be healthy, which could be air fried. We are giving them now alternates how to give a pizza could be on, a wheat base with a lot of vegetables coming up, healthy option again, sir, coming up there. So we are working on those kind of recipes. Our home science students are also working along with us, and we're trying to get out a recipe book for our parents as well, where they could make the same thing what they were their child, and my school canteen as well. So I have a school canteen which serves rajma chawal and curry chawal. Though he always tells me, ma'am, my sales are higher for burgers. Children love to have burgers and brownies and all that. So we've also told him to let's search for healthy options. So we are still working. I'm not 100% there, but we are still on. We are with patiently. We are working on that also, sir. Where all our students realize the importance of eating healthy. So we've seen it happening with all the celebrities now.
Correct.
They all are into healthy eating. There are alternates for everything. Even if you want to have sugar, there are dates coming in to sweeten it up, right? Equally, that's a healthy option coming in. Oats are there. So we are trying to educate our children also. And so once you get a taste of something which is nice and healthy, they won't like to eat things which are unhealthy. We
Correct.
always think twice before eating something which is unhealthy. And I've seen it in my office. If I offer somebody biscuits and chips coming in there, there are a lot of people who would not like to eat it because it's not very healthy and very tempting to have that. So it's better to let's all and that's conscious eating basically. So we need to tell our children about it. It's not just the students who are good at athlete, running or into sports people who are supposed to be having in school, because our sports students really have a separate diet coming up. So they do have separate kind of diet plans which our sports teachers have given them. But why them only? Let's all of us have a good diet plan and enjoy life, enjoy healthy food. It can be equally tasty. So that's what the message that we are trying to get to our students. It'll take a little time, but we are sure by March we'll be there.
Right. So now we move to another part of intakes, which is substance abuse, right? This is again for elderly children or senior children. They are into that. So what steps does a school take to prevent substance abuse among students?
All right, so okay, first and foremost, we have no tobacco days coming in. No tobacco, say no to tobacco, those kind of campaigns coming up. Again, CBSE is very strict on it, has been imposing that we need to do this. So this is something which we are doing it. They ask kids on, the side effects of drugs. We have something called as vape, which was very popular amongst the students. Once upon a time, we could see that. So again, as I've come back to the same thing, it's just to educate them. We can, and of course, school, you can't have these things coming in school. So nobody's having this in school, sir. But if you are consuming this after school also, it is, it does have its side effects. So we are just educating our kids about that. So, but luckily we don't have anything happening in the campus. You can't get it in the campus because they know the rules and regulations are very stringent. So yeah, we are just telling them that this is it. So other day I remember we were celebrating one of the days where Michael Jackson was taken as an example. He was a big star, and what happened? So we do have in the assembly plays and the days which you celebrate, convey the message to the children well in advance. Like if you're a star and if you're doing it also, it can just take your life. So what is more important? Is your life important? So if your life is important, stop doing it. All right, if you're consuming it and you're still alive, what happens? You're going to not have the quality life coming in. What are the drawbacks that you have? So the choice is yours. You either take it, and what are you getting out of it? What exactly is the reason for taking it? So we do a lot of these, role plays, street plays, dramatics, and done by the students themselves.
Correct.
So we do. I mean, I've never had a lecture method coming in because that would never help in this case. I always thought it's better the kids can do a little skit or role play and speak about it. And do we have open debates also? All right, let's have a debate. Do you think it's good to consume tobacco? Do you think it's good to, have go on drugs? Let's talk about it. And we are very open about it. We say, let's talk about it. If somebody has opinion that yes, it is, let's educate us also. What is so good about it? And let's have an open forum. We can't dismiss something saying it's bad without giving a good reason or understanding from the other person. Why is it?
Correct.
So that kind of debates and open house and brainstorming sessions we do have with our assembly. So there are days assigned. If we in an entire month, we have special days assigned for these kind of things as well. So.
Right. So this is really good, ma'am, that you actively monitor that and you actively educate children that substance abuse is something which will definitely take your life. At least not today, maybe tomorrow, or there will be a day when the life will be taken. The reason for the life gone is substance abuse, right? So now coming to the last question, ma'am, you've given you wonderfully operating and you wonderfully taking care of the health of the children. So last but not the least, because whenever we talk about the child education, there is a reason and there is a concern of every parent about the sexual habits or something like that, which should be minimum awareness should be done for the children for do's and don'ts and everything. So what steps are taken to ensure students receive accurate information about consent, relationships, and reproductive health?
So you would be surprised to know that NCRT has introduced, this sexual reproduction, human sexual reproduction chapter in grade 7th, where the
Right,
teacher explains the entire process. And I think it's really correct to do that. Children should be made aware of what is all this all about, what is safe sex as well. Everything needs to be made aware to the students at an early age, so before they commit a mistake. So at the
correct,
right age, keep putting in the information to the child so that the child is not inquisitive and enters the wrong place on your, we see children, getting into websites, learning from them the wrong message, hiding from the parents and doing it. It's better. Let's have an open talk about it. And do not, shut a child if he's asking you a question. Answer the question and answer it correctly. We do not need to be using different names for an organ which actually has a name. Be very clear about it. Tell the child about it and tell him the repercussions of doing something before age. What are they? Everything has an age, and everything at the right time done, is correct and beneficial for the body as well. So this is the kind of education that we are giving our kids also. And we don't need to snap a child for any question that we ask. Those children are going to be curious. They're going to ask. And if you don't answer it, they have their ways of finding it out. And they'll be misguided there. So it's better the parents, the teachers, the educators, keep them informed to whatever questions they have. So I think that's the best way of educating it. And we should not be embarrassed talking about these topics at all.
right. So this is something which is very important for the children, and this is very important for being an educator to talk about this and to make sure they are healthy enough and they know the do's and don'ts. And absolutely, ma'am, it was wonderful talking to you. And I don't know how this is something where these 45 minutes already passed, and I'm really amazed that you have taken a really great initiative inside school, and you are doing wonderful for making sure that the health of a child is taken care of, well taken care of rather. And I wish best of luck, and I wish great, healthy, and happier students in your school. And your last thoughts, ma'am, for health to the children and to the audience of EduTV.
I would just say be healthy, be happy. And I think that's the success mantra of our life. If we have health with us, sir, and we are happy in life, we don't need anything else.
Right.
So, and to do that, we need to be mentally, emotionally, physically, I think, totally taking care of ourselves. Be selfish, look after yourselves well, and do the correct thing at the correct time. I think so. There's no, looking back after that. So, we can all have a healthy living coming up there and a beautiful life awaits each one of us there.
So from your message, I should take a word that a person must be selfish, at least for the health.
Very true, sir. I am. I need to take my 8 hours sleep. I'm particular about that. I want to eat. What I want to eat is eat right. I mean, it's okay if you go out, somebody serves you something which is not healthy and you don't like it, it's okay. You can say a big no to that. So I seriously believe in, being little self-centered when it comes to my health. So, because if I am healthy, I can have people around me also. I can, work well also for my
Absolutely.
school, for my society, for my nation. So.
Correct, ma'am. Correct. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your valuable time and your valuable insights for towards the health solutions or health workings you are doing, health initiatives you have taken inside your school. So I thank you, EduTV, for this wonderful interaction, and keep watching EduTV for more interesting discussions and interactions on certain topics. So thank you, ma'am, once again on behalf of EDU TV. I thank you for your time, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It was nice interacting with you. Thank you so much,
Thank
EDU
you,
TV.
ma'am.
Thank you,
Namaste,
sir.
Bharat.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Oxford summer courses has helped me a lot in my future because not only can you be independent with your own field of work, but also you have your friends around to help you, which makes the experience so much more fun.
Finding your passion is the key to your success. Good evening to everyone present here. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome the team of EDU TV, the founder of EDU TV, Mr. Pranav Guha Thakurta, co-founder, Ms. Tanya Sethi, all the esteemed speakers for today, our principal, Mr. Jacob Matthew, Vice Principal Operations, Ms. Shalini Rawat, Vice Principal Academics, Ms. Anupama, HMs, coordinators, teachers, students, and all parents. On behalf of Olive International School, Doha, Qatar, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all the esteemed speakers from EDU TV.